thank you all for being here. And I'm here to welcome the EPA Administrator, Lee Zeldin, to West Virginia. He's traveling and he'll tell you this himself, all 50 states, and we're number 49. So that tells you in a 10-month period of time, he's been on the go to hear the voices of all kinds of folks and how the EPA and the policies of the EPA impact businesses and individuals. So we heard from the roundtable. We're going to have a great day. The governor has been here with us this morning, and the spirit of cooperative federalism, which is the federal and the state working together, is absolutely essential to get things moving and to build. And so, Governor, thank you for not just being here, but for what you've been doing to all of us working together. We're going to be going out to John Amos power plant, which is one of the largest coal-producing power plants. It was built in the 70s. We all know it, out in close in Putnam County, to talk about the future of coal. We know that President Trump and Administrator Zeldin know that we need every single power source that we can, and elongating not just our power plants, but also being able to create new power plants is going to be essential. Then we're going to go out to Toyota and see the incredible over 2,000 members that Toyota has. It's a marquee plant for us, obviously, in West Virginia. The impacts that EPA does and has working with the Congress to be able to take down the EV mandate that was the California mandate. Me working with Administrator Zeldin, we were able to do that. And then we're going to go out to Nucor to see the construction there. Permitting was a big issue in Nucor. It held it up for a while, and a lot of it had to do with endangered species or historic preservations and other things where the permitting is just missing one another. Costs money, costs time, and we were concerned for a while there that Nucor may decide in the end that it's just too expensive to build along the Ohio River there, but obviously we're going to see a lot of building going on. So I'm really happy to have the administrator here. I guess if you'd like, we can either go to questions, or do you want to say something first? Why don't you give them a little lay of the land?
Well, it's great. Thank you, Senator. It's great to be here in West Virginia. When the president asked me to serve as EPA administrator right after nomination, one of the very first things that I did was go to Senator Capito's website, read every single press release and op-ed that she had put out on all issues, West Virginia, energy, environment, and it really helped orient me to where the chair Senate EPW committee was, what many of the top asks were for West Virginia, and I'm glad that there was a long list of priorities and asks coming from the congressional delegation led by Senator Capito, and we've just been working on checking the box on everything. We want to accomplish everything that is on their list of fighting for West Virginia. I want to thank the governor, who I've known for a very long time, and I will say, as EPA administrator, his work as Attorney General in helping to secure very important victories at the Supreme Court really helped set the stage for what should be a very durable and productive regulatory, deregulatory environment. And while we talk about a lot of deregulation, Senator Capito told me something very important. It was a very key reminder, the very first phone call that we had right after the nomination. The EPA's core mission is protecting human health and the environment. It's a mission that we take to heart. It's the first pillar of powering the great American comeback: clean air, land, and water for all Americans. And on the 100th day of President Trump's term in office, we released a list of our top 100 environmental accomplishments from those first 100 days. On the 200th day of President Trump's term in office, we released a list of our next top 100 environmental accomplishments from the next 100 days. And I am very grateful to Senator Capito for reminding me early and often about how important it is for us to strike the right balance in choosing to both protect the environment and grow the economy. It's not a choice between the two. We're excited about doing both. Again, great to be in West Virginia. I don't feel bad, by the way, about West Virginia being the 49th state to visit, because we were actually going to be coming earlier, but the senator wanted to make sure that she was here. And that we had a fully...
Cut it close.
That's true, so true. and a fully packed out schedule. So it's going to be such a great, productive day. And thank you again, Senator, Governor, for your leadership.
Governor, did you want to say
Yeah,
something?
absolutely. Just briefly, I want to first of all start out by thanking Senator Capito for pulling the roundtable together and her work as the head of EPW. That's critical for West Virginia. Mr. Administrator, I'm so grateful for all of the hard work you're putting in, and quite frankly, for the incredible alignment between the Trump administration and West Virginia. There's a unique opportunity available for our state now to really grow and leverage our energy resources to be a major part of the American energy dominance movement that President Trump has been talking about. And so for the first time in a long time, we have the ability to work collaboratively, that cooperative federalism that Senator Capito was talking about, we live it every day. We're trying to cut red tape faster in West Virginia than any other state in the nation. We're trying to build on our energy resources with our 50 by 50 plan and attract a lot more customers to use our energy and build on the data center opportunity that's in front of us. So I'm so thrilled that you're here today and just pleased to be part of it and to work collaboratively with our federal delegation and with the Trump administration to help our state soar.
Yeah, so Administrator, why don't you step forward? Questions?
Yeah, Steve Adams, Ogden
Steve
Newspapers here. Federal government is hopefully set to reopen today once the House reopens. You've got a lot of work that you are wanting to do. You unveiled some of your initiatives in regards to coal. You're going to be touring John Amos in just a little bit. Talk a little bit about the mission in regards to trying to find ways to, A, keep coal-fired power plants going past maybe their lifespans that they would normally have, but also trying to keep in mind protecting the environment of where these coal-fired power plants are. Are those mutually exclusive things, or can you do both? Thank you.
Well, our predecessor, the Biden EPA, they were treating it as a binary choice. You could protect the environment or grow the economy. So in order to protect the environment, you'd have to strangulate the energy economy in West Virginia. We don't believe that, the Trump EPA. We oppose that approach. We do not believe whatsoever that we should be in any way, shape, or form making it harder for West Virginians to be able to make ends meet, to have affordable energy, to have those jobs. West Virginia is not just a producer for West Virginia, but West Virginia is a very important energy producer for this entire country. The amount of opportunity in unleashing energy dominance right here within West Virginia is something that the Trump EPA, working with the National Energy Dominance Council and working closely with the president himself, we want to do everything in our power to help West Virginia succeed and thrive. In 2023 and 2024, you had all sorts of different rules, regulations coming out of the Biden EPA trying to eliminate coal. There was a message that was getting sent by predecessors telling West Virginia workers that they just need to learn how to code. And it's an insult for somebody who, by the way, doesn't even live inside of West Virginia. To hear that kind of message is outrageous and it's irritable. And we believe that these hardworking, blue-collar West Virginians who are powering the economy of this particular state should be given every bit of opportunity to be able to succeed and thrive. We can do our part working with the state in order to get that done.
Given the competition from natural gas and even wind and solar, is it realistic to think that West Virginia will ever see another new coal-fired plant built or anyplace else?
Well, first off, as I've been traveling the country, I have continued to see coal plants that were about to close staying open. Not only are they staying open, but now they are investing new money into their site. They are continuing to invest in capital improvements. And now instead of closing the doors, they're expanding their operations. That is the direction that we want to go. We need to make the economics work. So when we sit down with those who are operating these coal plants and they're talking about, okay, this is the impact of the Clean Power Plan 2.0. This is the impact of the 2024 mercury and air toxic standards. This is how much this rule and this rule and that rule and that rule is costing us when you add up everything that they were doing in 2023 and 2024 by design. The Biden EPA was trying to close down coal plants in West Virginia and across the country. We had one state come to us trying to get approval for a state implementation plan on regional haze recently, where they were trying to get the Trump EPA to sign off on the state closing 10 coal plants. That is not the direction that the Trump EPA is going to go under this president's leadership and direction. If you want to talk about creating new energy capacity, building new plants, whether it's nuclear, it's gas, it's coal, building new pipelines, whatever the conversation is in that region and in that locality, in that state, it's all about making the economics work. We don't make the investment at the EPA for that particular business, but what we can do is make sure that we aren't tying their hands behind their back and making it impossible to invest in their company and in these communities.
Along with the coal power plants, there are several in the northern part of the state, like First Energy in Morgantown and Shea Center in Doddridge County, that are going more towards natural gas power plants. And of course, you're visiting John Amos today, but would you go to Morgantown and Doddridge County to work with those plants up there as well?
I'm going to be coming back to West Virginia. This is the first visit as administrator. I've been to West Virginia many times in the past. It's great to be back. Senator Capito she didn't invite me here for recreation this trip. We are working all day. We start early, we're ending late, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I look forward to coming back to West Virginia again to be able to visit more sites, meet with more residents. This gives me a perspective that allows me, when making a decision on the future of a regulation, to be thinking about that visit to that power plant that day in November with Senator Capito. The feedback that we hear on the ground gives me a perspective to make a better call. And that perspective only gets enhanced when I can come back a second time and a third time. You know, maybe next time we're able to catch a Mountaineers game or be able to enjoy more of the state for at least a couple hours in the day.
We'll take you on a bridge walk.
But we'll definitely come back for sure, and we'll be visiting more plants.
In your health role as the EPA, West Virginia is considered a state that is at high risk for exposure to ethylene oxide in places. Why haven't you all done more to regulate that? And I believe the agency is granting waivers, or has granted waivers to allow some plants, Alcon I think is one here to go with some higher limits.
Yeah, I was actually just passed the note coming into this that there was a new court Fourth Circuit decision that came out. I'm going to have to read that decision after, and I guess it came out. There was a story today. So we'll have to see what that court decision said in the Fourth Circuit. Happy to read it and react. Our core mission is protecting human health and the environment, first and foremost. We have 5 pillars of powering the great American comeback. I spoke earlier about unleashing energy dominance, cooperative federalism, permitting reform, which Senator Capito is leading the charge with, helping to make America the AI capital of the world, protecting and bring back American auto jobs, which we're also visiting a Toyota facility, and that's important to us as well. But pillar 1 is protecting human health and the environment. It's about clean air, land, and water for all Americans. I will look forward to being able to read that story that was printed today, read the Fourth Circuit opinion, and see what else we could do at the agency to be helpful in responding to the state's concerns and working closely with West Virginia. We want to improve that partnership across the board.
Last question, did you have, you?
Yeah, so we hear a lot about, everyone in West Virginia knows we need more jobs. And money is always at the root of, everything. But I don't hear a whole lot about the health side. Because when we go out and we do stories, with people who have been around coal mines their entire life, you don't hear anything about what we're doing to help those people and to ensure future people that they're going to be safe. Can you address that, this human element?
Sure, absolutely. And then one of the other advantages of traveling the country and visiting all these coal plants have been to meet the workers, to learn about their process to protect their workers, the PPE that is used, the precautions that are made, the advancements in technology, what they do with fly ash that is a new innovation. What do they do with bottom ash as a new innovation? How they are tapping into these supplies to be able to reuse materials. The water reuse is something that's big as it relates to these plants and the future of energy development. The circular economy, where something that a coal plant is producing can be used to help pave roads. But as it relates to worker protection, I have to tell you, my experience has been in my travels coming across locations where employee and employer are very focused on worker protection. Employees caring about their workers, morale high amongst workers because they know employees know that their employer cares about them. They're happy with their pay. They're happy with the company taking care of them. We want to be able to support that whole process. We want to make things better. We want to lean into American innovation. What we don't want to do is be part of any type of a process to just close down all coal. Like hard stop. We came in and things changed. The Biden EPA was gone. The Trump EPA arrived, and instead of eliminating an entire sector of our energy economy. I mean, by the way, there are people who are in Congress right now. There are congressional Democrats. There are blue state governors. They believe that they'll talk about wind and solar as if that intermittent source is a substitute for baseload power. I mean, I come from a state of New York where they won't allow the extraction of natural gas. They have rejected a whole bunch of new pipelines. They banned gas hookups on new construction. They've set climate dates that they know they will not achieve, but they are happy to cause extreme economic pain for people who can least afford it. When you compare energy policy and economic policy in a state like West Virginia with what you see in other states, gosh, I'll say it as a New Yorker, thank God for West Virginians that you have leadership who understand the economics, who want to make sure businesses succeed and thrive. And I wish that a state like New York had leadership like what you see right now in West Virginia. New York would be a better place. And that's to West Virginia's advantage, because money that might be invested in the next project in New York is going to get invested here. As it relates to worker protection, we'll see when we get to that stop today, but if it's anything like my other stops so far, I'm expecting to meet employers and employees who will be able to fill us in all of the different ways that they care about and are taking care of each individual employee and their family. And by the way, when you meet these workers, it's not like these are jobs that they take for 6 months. These are lifelong jobs over the course of decades where they're very happy with the way their employer cares about them and takes care of them. And that's what I expect to see today, and we'll see shortly. We're on our way.
All right, thanks. Follow-up question? Go ahead.
So I guess what I was really leading to was not necessarily the workers, and we know how important coal is to us in West Virginia, but what about the health concerns of the people who live in these areas? Not the workers, but the people who live. Is there anything to watch out for those folks as coal and the stuff you wash coal with goes into the ground?
Yeah, so we work closely with the states on state implementation plans. Clean air, land, and water. When you talk about air quality, we look at the emissions and impacts locally and regionally. We want to empower states to be in charge of their land, their water, their air as much as possible, rather than some federal bureaucrat sitting in some office in Washington, D.C. acting like we have all the answers to everything. What I know is that Governor Morrisey and Senator Capito know their state best. And they know these local communities the best. And when they come to the EPA and they're asking for primacy, they're looking for the state to be able to oversee regulation of something impacting land, air, and water. We want to provide the technical assistance, the expertise, but to do so, maximizing the state being able to lead the way, understanding their people the most. We stand ready to assist in all 50 states. And as Senator Capito reminded me, the very first conversation that we had after I was nominated, Senator wanted me to make sure that I never lose sight of the importance always taking measures to protect the environment. And advancing cooperative federalism is maybe one of the best ways to do it because these state leaders know their state better than anyone.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Good job.
Governor, can you update us on the mine situation before you leave?
Yes, very briefly, I was down at the mine in Nicholas County last night and had an update. The dewatering efforts continue. The big strategic goal right now is to drain as much of the water as possible so that that can give the mine rescue individuals the opportunity to go in and further their search. So as we have more information about that, we're going to make sure that we're updating the public and the media. But right now, so much of the efforts are focusing on dewatering. Separately, there's an effort to open up, there's a hole to be able to do the drill, to ultimately have a capsule that goes down. That's a longer process. But I can say that everyone is working incredibly hard on this rescue mission, and those efforts are going to continue. As we get more updates, we'll let you know.
Is disposing of that water an issue environmentally or just mechanically?
I know that there's been a lot of close coordination between our DEP and folks on the federal side as well to do that the right way. So right now, all efforts are focused on the rescue, but I know that our teams have been looking at that and working in partnership with all the relevant agencies to try to make that happen.
Thank you.
How much was pumped out overnight last night?
I don't have an estimate as to how much is pumped out last night. I can say that people are talking about that the average height where we're draining is declining about an inch an hour, maybe even a little bit more than that. And we know that we're seeing dewatering of about 6,000, maybe slightly more than that, gallons per minute. So there's a lot of water that's being drained, but there's also a massive amount in there that still needs to be drained. So my sense is we'll have more information to share later in the day. Obviously, a lot is dependent upon getting the water drained, and then we're in a position to do more work. So no exact timeline on when that happens, but as we've been trying to do over the last couple of days, we're trying to update the media twice a day. Even if there's just some little information, we want to pass that along to the public.
Was there a lake or something above this mine site?
I don't know if there's a lake. There was a lot of water around, and then there was another mine right next to it. So, but I can't give you all the demographics and the geography of the area. But I can say when I was down there yesterday, I saw the proximity of the current mine to the past mine and a mine that had been worked on in the 30s and the 40s. But you know, I can't give you more detail than that.
What kind of message do you want to send to the family? What do you want to tell them?
Well, I can tell you that we're working closely with the company and with all of the state and federal agencies to do everything imaginable to try to save the miner's life. That's the number one goal at this point. We have to continue to work, and this is a rescue mission, and we have to continue to focus on that. So right now, just let's try to get as much of the water out so we can get the rescue crews working and expanding the search. I think that's the most critical thing. And if there's a good idea, we're looking to implement it and make sure that whether it's resources, whether it's machinery, whether it's personnel, that anything needed on site is provided for. But I want to say that there's been great cooperation and collaboration between the company, between the state agencies, the federal agencies, and I know people take it very, very seriously, as they should. This is a member of the family. It's a member of someone's family, and our prayers go out to that family, but it's also part of the greater West Virginia family. When a coal miner is at risk, everyone in West Virginia prays for that person because people know what coal miners have done, how they've broken their backs for the citizens of our state. And we're going to continue to do everything we can to try to rescue this miner. All right? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.